Peace to the family, it's Brother Polight, and you know I am here for another installment. And today's show is going to be called A Psychic Self-Defense by way of a holistic and economic offense. How about that? How about that? How about that? It's time to have this conversation, family. And the reason why we got to have this conversation, because we always on the defense. And what I mean by defense is that we get plagued by disease, we get plagued by poverty, and then we have to find a way out. Our credit score is low, and we need to get into a new house or get into an apartment, and we need to find a way in. So we always are working backwards, mostly as a community, where we don't focus on credit until what? We don't focus on credit until we actually need it right then and there. And then we get a little depressed because we like, man, I have to fix my credit, but the amount of time it takes to fix the credit, I won't be able to be approved for this house. So now I got to go ask somebody if they could show me some love, put their name on the property. See, we always on the defense. So we got to find a way on the offensive side of things. And that's why I called this particular show today Psychic Self-Defense by way. We're going to establish a defense by way of a fortified offense. But what does that mean? First of all, what is a psychic self-defense? That's important. Psychic, psyche, soul, mind. So our mind is plagued on account to the fact that we don't have enough outlets, right? Our mind is plagued because we don't have enough options, or at least it certainly feels like we don't have enough options. And because it feels like we don't have enough options, let me see if I can get let me see if it can get, well, it looks clearer now. It was looking a little foggy. And because we feel like, peace to the family, bless you too. Peace to the family. Yeah, so because we feel like we're running out of options, or we don't have options, we have a tendency to just scramble, to run. So what we want to do is fortify our minds. So we want to establish a psychic self-defense. And what's the main thing plaguing us mentally? Our economic disposition and our health disposition. Our economic disposition and our health disposition is the main thing that's plaguing us. And we're always on defense, because when the diabetes comes, when the high blood pressure comes, when the anemia comes, we're scrambling. When the cancer comes, we're scrambling. We're crying. We're running to the aid of our parents, and there's really not much we know to do because we start studying upon crisis. We don't have any preemptive steps, and we don't do any planning aforetime. That's what the wealth course is all about. The wealth course that we're doing tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, is called Wealth Stewardship, because it doesn't only prepare you for the now, it also prepares you for the later. Generational wealth, that's the conversation. For example, we complain about police brutality and all sorts of racial animus perpetrated against us that in turn causes us to be separated from our family, particularly black men, as we get murdered and brutally slain. But if we had an insurance policy in place that's not even that expensive, hold on. If we had an insurance policy ahead of time or for a time, then what will happen is when they murder one of us, our children or our spouse, we get $1 million, let's say, or even $500,000. Let's say even $250,000. Think about this. What if every time they murdered a black man in cold blood, in the name of racism, in the name of police brutality, what if everybody that got murdered their family or family members each inherited $500,000. Do you think they would continue to kill us with those insurance policies in place? Do you think so? Of course not. Think about it. Don't worry about the detractors, family. I like them to stay in there sometimes so you can see where the mentality is when we talking grown folk business. Okay? So believe me, if we had more teachers strategically teaching us the nuances and or the particulars of economics and or health, our community's mortality rate would be at a whole different threshold. We wouldn't be in the lower 70s for our lifetime expectancy. And this is why they call the mortgage a mortgage, because a mortgage is a pledge or an agreement till you die. Because most of us will get serious and lock down a house around the ages of 30, 35. Leaning more towards 35. And if the fixed rate mortgage is 30 years, the presumption is if you do pay it out for that duration to finally own the property, you're not going to officially be an owner until you're about 65. And any debt that takes you 30 years in or around is not a debt worth having. Because if your lifetime expectancy is about 72, because remember, men's mortality rate is more compromised than the women. They're living longer than us for some obvious reasons and not so obvious reasons. Peace, brother. So what happens is, once you officially own the house, you did pledge to an agreement until you die, damn near, because you got less than 7 years from the time that you pay off that property before you die. Think about that. So that's a wild scenario. It's crazy. Bearing in mind that a 9 to 5 is 8 hours, going to work is 1 hour, come back to work is about 1 hour, 10 hours, and most people sleep about 6 hours, so that gives you 2/3 of your life you're using to contribute to someone else's livelihood or their vision, to feed their family, send their children to school, and create generational wealth on their behalf as a worker. And the 1/3 that you got left, you're supposed to eat, sleep, vacate, meditate, read, study, contemplate, socialize, cook. And you got to squeeze all that in. So, and 1/3 is not going to happen. So you're going to have to make a sacrifice. And you're going to most likely sacrifice reading. You're going to most likely sacrifice meditation, contemplation, introspection, reading and vacation. You're going to sacrifice those things so you can at least have time to socialize or catch up on sleep. That's what happens when you're in the 2/3. And by the 2/3, we mean 2/3 of your life is utilized to contribute to someone else's vision or goals. And the other 1/3 is what you have left. It's real talk. It's real talk. $15-year mortgage just as crazy. But I ain't mad at nobody who get the job done. I ain't mad at nobody who works very hard and do what it is that they got to do to make sure those interest rates don't get them. Because, of course, the earlier you pay, the less interest you have. Cumulatively. Yeah, the class is made up of health and wealth Saturday and health and wealth Sunday. Health and wealth Saturday, health and wealth Sunday. Real talk. You go to brotherpolight.app. Let me press that right there. You go to brotherpolight.app. That's Polight, spell brother the right way. Go to brotherpolight.app. You can sign up for the courses for wealth stewardship, which means generational wealth. People talk about amassing wealth, building wealth, growing wealth, but they don't talk about stewardship. So stewardship is important because that's generational wealth. Generational. And in order to do that, you're going to have to put your life into your own hands as an adult. You're going to have to learn how to create your own annuities. You're going to have to take more control over your pension. This is why I teach people about qualified retirement plans. Do I sell it? No. But you need to have a cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plan. You need that because it allows you to behave as a trustee of your own pension, and then you can roll over contributions. That is to say, you can take from other pension plans or previous pension plans without penalty and roll it over into your QRP because it's a cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plan. No, I don't sell those. Just like when we do the course, I'm gonna instruct you guys or suggest to you guys that you get a CT scan, that you get a lipid test, that you get estrogen tests, testosterone test, hair mineral analysis, and also that you get an allergy test, a serious one that costs around $350, $400. I don't sell none of those things, but I'm going to suggest that you go get those things. Why? Because when you say, Brother Polight, what foods are good for me, I have to speak to you honestly. And the honest thing that I can say, there are foods that are good for us in general. There are foods that are good for us in general. But if we're dealing with holistic mathematics, then we'll get closer to resolve if we know what foods that you are allergic to. We'll get closer to resolve if we know the condition of your heart by way of that CT scan. We'll know more once you take a lipid test so we can know if you're inclined for any type of coronary heart disease or disorders. You take that lipid test, we'll be able to know if you're probably walking around getting strokes and not realizing it. See, this is the information that we got to have a conversation about, because we would like to walk around here and pretend like we're not sick, and we like to walk around here and pretend like we're not going to get sick no time soon, or we don't have no time to deal with our health because we got to go out here and get this money. These are conversations we have to have. And when the money messes up, then guess what? So does your health. They go out the window. So that's why I refuse to have courses anymore unless I run the two concurrent. That's why we have the wealth stewardship course and the holistic mathematics course. Gotta do it. Because when we look at our plate of food and we see our carbohydrates, proteins, and our fats, we need to know that carbohydrates take 1 to 2 hours to burn before they transform into usable energy. And we need to know that proteins take 3 to 4 hours to transform into usable energy. And fats take 5 to 6 hours to transform into usable energy. That's what we need to know. It's about teaching. So we know if I start eating 8 a.m. for my breakfast, if I don't have the right combination of food in that breakfast, of course I'm gonna have to eat a second plate of food. Because if I eat a plate of food at 8 a.m. and it's consistent with some fat, protein, and carbs, I'm not going to get the full impact at 8 a.m. I'm going to get the full impact of that food around what time? 2 p.m., 6 hours later. And if I'm not aware of this energy process, usable energy process, and how long it takes, the carbohydrates 1 to 2 hours, the proteins 3 to 4 hours, and the fat 5 to 6 hours. If I'm not aware of that process, what's going to happen? I'm going to overindulge. And now, by the time the nighttime comes, I'm going to overcompensate. And then each time, I got the body breaking down food and releasing energies during times where I'm sleeping. So it's going to be hard to sleep. And it's also going to cause snoring. It's going to cause overheating from the liquids being created. It's going to create a whole bunch of health implications. And this behavior is going to be practiced over and over, because when we don't realize, we got a duration of 6 hours before that plate of food turns into usable energy. And we get usable energy in different intervals, so we don't appropriate the energies as we get them properly. We'll keep thinking we have to eat. We'll keep thinking we have to eat. And that's what the issue is. That is a big issue. And just like I was saying earlier today on Instagram. What was I saying on Instagram? If you're gonna go exercise, get in your panties or go in your drawers and step on a scale and just weigh yourself. After you do that, put back on your clothes to exercise, and when you're done exercising, go back on that scale the same way you went on before you exercise and check your weight. And let's say you're 1.5 pounds lighter, then you know you need 24 fluid ounces in or around. You got to replace the liquid. And your body is probably, because of your low cognition of your body, you'll misinterpret that 1.5 pounds difference for hunger as opposed for thirst. And therefore, you will thrust yourself into dehydration. And that food intake is going to demand energy in order to break it down. And you don't have the proper liquids in your body to help distribute the nutrients in the first place. So now your osmoregulation is compromised. This is how this works. No, you will start snoring if you're overeating. That's a fact. When you come in the house and you overcompensate, you make dinner your biggest meal, it's because you're not satisfied from all the other meals you ate during the day, because you don't know when the energy finally kicks in. Plus, your foods are disproportionately weighed in on the plate. You're taking too much or too little of some of those calories, and your body has 1,500 glucose reserves, 1,500 grams or 1,500 calories in glucose reserves at your disposal. Most of you are awake for about 18 hours a day, sleeping about 6. And on an average, each person burns in or around 100 calories per hour. So that's 1,800 calories. When your body only has 1,500 glucose reserves. So you starting the day with a negative 300 debt that has to be reconciled. It has to be remedied. It has to be rectified. This is why we talking about holistic mathematics, because you out here just eating and doing whatever you want, winging it, and you're not realizing every day you're putting your body through harm. Every day you're damaging yourselves. Even when we work out, holistic mathematics tells us we get into the activity first and then we do the stretching after. We don't do the stretching prior and then get into the activity. That's insane. That's wearing and tearing on your body. That's wearing and tearing on your body. That's a fact. I ain't worried about that little Negro. That's what he does. This is what I do. Let him talk his crazy talk. That's what he does. What I'm supposed to do? Stop everything I'm doing to talk to that guy? That's what he does. I'm not good at what he does. What he's good at is gossip and rumors and talking about people, finding out if he can pry into their business. I got people calling me, telling me this brother's calling them, hoping and asking them if they can go forward and say this, that, and the third. I got people called me literally today. That's what we dealing with. That's what he does. I know what that is. We don't need to deal with that. We don't need to deal with that. When I deal with people, it'll be on the same day. It's coming up. And then I move forward. I can't have no 30 videos of nobody. I got wives and children. And look at me like, why am I taking time out to speak about other people? So when I get people, I got to get them all in one bunch. Because I ain't got no time to deal with everybody. And every time I want to stop and deal with it, I got classes I got to deal with. I got to travel. I got books that I'm writing. I got clients that I have at my disposal. So I just don't have the same free time. I don't have the same luxury. I don't have the same liberty to deviate from teaching when I have the opportunity to teach. When I get an opportunity to go live, I like to make it my duty to make sure that I have something to share that can empower you when you walk away from the information. That's what it's about. So no, I'm too wise for that. That's a young man's game who's destructive and not creative. And hopefully the people that love him around him will tell him to slow down before it catches up with him. That's a young man's game. That's a young, ignorant black man's game. You know, that this YouTube era of the way we deal with each other and interface with each other, that's not my game. Nah, you know, so we make that a teaching moment. That's what this is. We go back to teaching. So don't worry about if the brother's going live and saying this, that, and the third, because one thing that you and I both know, no one can gain from that. It's not going to strengthen your relationship in your house with your woman or with your man. It's not going to bring groceries on the table. It's not going to help you do anything that adults need to get done, obligation-wise. It's not going to create a pension for you. It's not going to be nothing you can annuitize. It's entertainment and it's gossip. And I mean, some people may not even be entertained by it. That's for a different group of people, a different type of thought process. Over here, what we got to do is continue to teach, because we're not in a position in our community to study or listen to anyone or anything that may consume our time with frivolous deliberations that we can't take and strategically empower our family or our community with it. After you destroy, what is it that you have to offer us? You feel me? After a person destroys, after the destruction, after the, look, we're going to tear this person down. We're going to talk negative about this person. Hey, look, I got somebody that got something bad to say about that. After we do that, what then do you have left for us? Because everything that you suggested that you would do, deliver, or bring to the community is yet to come to fruition. And in fact, I dare to say it, it has failed. And the only thing you have manifested is destruction. The only thing you have manifested is chaos, discord, distrust, and a disheartened people. That's what you have created. Okay? So the he said, oh no, she said, that he said, all of that. Listen, as I said before, this is my brand. I never built a brand that needed me to talk about somebody else in order for me to survive. Never did it. Okay, I never did that. Every video that I have that's in the millions is because I'm teaching. I did a video on milk for 60 seconds. I think I'm in my second hour right now, and it's going on 20,000 views. I'm going on 20,000 views in my second hour on Instagram for a 60-second video. I did one on Christmas last year, almost a year ago, and it's going on 3 million views. You see how that works? So that's power and that's influence, because there's countries out there that don't even have 3 million inhabitants. And I got a population's worth of attention from 60-second videos. So when I see the onslaught, when I see the attacks, when I see the campaign, I know what I signed up for. Because I don't have to get into gossip. I don't have to speak ill of somebody for me to get millions of views. These people do it and they don't even come remotely close to the amount of views I get. So we always got to keep in mind the power of numbers and the power of influence and the power of concentration. If I could do a video, I got a Breakfast Club video that's being shared that's near 30 million views on Facebook. If I got the power and ability to get 30 million people to focus on the same idea that's liberating and uplifting, I am a problem. I am a threat, because 30 million people is way more than most countries have in their populace. Okay? 30 million people all focusing on the same subject matter. Like I said earlier, I got a 60-second video I did on red meat being pumped with carbon monoxide, so the allure of the red hue in the meat will make the meat more marketable. Because we know when the oxygen hits the meat, it's supposed to be brown or supposed to be gray. So they pump carbon monoxide in the food to make it become red, so the hue is more marketable. You see red meat, you be like, man, I'm gonna buy that. You see brown or gray meat, you're gonna feel uncomfortable. But carbon monoxide is poison. I broke this down in 60 seconds. I broke this down in 60 seconds, and I got 7+ million views. And as I said before, when you look at Oprah, she once said something about the burger industry and how she don't eat that beef. And they had a talk with her like, yo, listen, miss, this is America, man. This is part of our gross domestic product. We need you to retract those statements. We felt the hit the second you did that. The next day, we felt the hit in the market on this meat. Do your own little healthy stuff if you want, but don't be messing up the economy because you got influence. Now, you see, I'm not Oprah and I don't got as much as following as she got, but 7 million views. In that 7 million, how many of those 7 million people will share the video or already have shared it? See, that makes me a threat because I created something around myself that at any given moment I could speak for 60 seconds and it'll touch millions of people. And millions of people decide I'm going to change my life. Millions of people will decide, you know what, I don't need to eat meat no more. Millions of people will decide we don't need to eat that no more. See, that changes everything. That changes everything. I'm touching too much people. I'm reaching too many people. You gotta really say to yourself, if this information wasn't taught to you in school, most likely they didn't want you to know it. Think about it. You go to school for food, clothing, and shelter. Mind you, this is all a teaching session. See, when I vent, it's gonna be education. I'm not gonna be here cursing up a storm and talking wild. Yo, see me in person. Come on, man. We know what that amounts to. And nobody ever gets a chance to see somebody because most of the time somebody on the other end is BSing. I've been there already. Too old for that. Got children. Let people talk they talk because I know when somebody's not living good. I know when they don't like their life. Because when people don't like their life, they do things other than suicide and hope someone subtracts them from existence. I'm not going to be the volunteer for that. When people are disappointed with the circumstances that surround their life, I mean, think about this. How long, when you look on YouTube and you see antagonists, how long can they survive being antagonists? If you remember the history of YouTube antagonists online, they never live past 4 or 5 years in duration. A new one has to come in their place. Because after a while, it becomes redundant. Because after a while, you just have to keep revisiting the same person you don't like or the same person that you think you're in competition with. And after a while, people start realizing, I've seen this show before. That's why I always say, look at someone 2 years prior, look at them now, and what you think they're going to look like 2 years later. They only could go on decline or sustain that same momentum, which is nothing empowering. You can look at me 2 years prior or 2 years prior to that. Go 4 years back. You can look at me now and go forward and say, man, you know what? One thing about me, as I always tell you, watch me, watch them. I'm always progressing. My message progresses. My patience progresses. Even when I debate people, I give them even more time to speak. Even when people come out against me, I do less videos responding because I've become more refined in my ability to communicate and also in my ability to assimilate, to process what's going on. And I understand what a good distraction is worth as far as taking me away from my motives, my agendas, my family, my business. I realized it. I see what it is. Every time I have a course coming up or a debate coming up or a lecture coming up, there's a campaign that surrounds me. And then when the courses are done, when the debate is over, it dies out. It's true. So you got to be wise. And this is why if I know people are walking with me, I got a responsibility to carry myself a certain way during certain times of turmoil or duress. So I empower my brothers and sisters that's walking with me with the conviction of how to deal with circumstances that we can identify as confrontational. Thank you, Brandon Williams. He said, I got my orders from Polight. It's all good. It's all love. It's all love. So yeah, you gotta let the young man be a young man. He young, he reckless, he out of control. He got a beef with everybody. He's supported by the type of people who vibrate on that frequency, and none of them will be there for his family when he's overwhelmed by creating too many people that may want to be his enemy. I don't want to be his enemy. I mean, but the people are weird. You know, they'll attack you, talk about you over and over and over, and the second you say one thing, they'll be like, what? You want to say something about me? What kind of feminine behavior is that? Now, I'm going to tell you this. It's feminine behavior when a man does it. It's not a negative thing if a sister does it, because it's not necessarily something the sister's going to do. But when a man behaves like that, he's acting out of the character of a man. What does this mean? But a man's going to keep picking at you, and then you say one thing to him, and he get overly emotional and start talking wild and reckless. That is not the character of a man or a woman. That is discipline. That is the character of an undisciplined woman when we see it manifest in a man. Gossip is not something we normally categorize as something that's the low light of a man. We normally categorize that as the low light of a female. You feel me? Just like there's things like, well, a woman is like, get upset, overly aggressive, then hit somebody. That don't mean a man is supposed to behave like that, but we would categorize that behavior as an undisciplined man. So we can see when women behave as undisciplined men, and we can see as men behave as undisciplined women. It's not respected or accepted in either gender if we're talking about discipline. But when we see people acting out of the character of their gender, then we start saying, is that an undisciplined man's behavior, or is that an undisciplined woman's behavior? Disciplined man, who's also supposed to be a father, wouldn't even take the risk to get involved with certain things because he loves his family. And when you put it all on the line to be jealous, or when you put it all on the line just to get attention and views and hits, because like I said, if a person just was asked, yo, teach for a month straight without getting into drama or identifying this leader, that leader, that leader, everybody ain't no good except for you. You're the only one that's good for us. Everybody else is no good, right? Nobody else is good. Everybody is bad. Just trust me, y'all, because everybody else is bad. You see, we know what that is because we've learned through history who has infiltrated the community to create distrust and discord amongst the members of the community and the people that they highly revere. This is historical. This is nothing new. So that's why now I'm more refined. I take a look at it. Before I was in shock because I had expectations of people just being better brothers and sisters. Now I understand they can't afford to have this mission move forward, and especially if you're dealing with the likes of whom has the attention and the love and attention of who? The love and the attention of who? People in sports, music, entertainment, people in the hood. Yo, I got so much love from so many different places and so many views from not acting the fool, but from teaching about real subject matter. And I could do it inside of 60 seconds and go viral and get more than a whole nation's populous amount of views. Once you know you dealing with that type of energy, you just realize, you know what, I'm a targeted individual. Because I know damn well I ain't saying things that the principalities that be want to be enforced. So now I just got to look at who claims to be black and see how they deal with their confrontations. And once I look at how they deal with their confrontations, I can say, you know what, this person is maybe just a lack of discipline is the order of the day, or maybe it's a little bit more. And so, you know, you see it for what it is. What you do? What I'm supposed to go on a campaign and petition to everybody? Yo, this is who this guy really is. Don't trust him, trust me. And then he go, no, trust me, don't trust him. What I can't get into nothing like that. I'm too fucking old for that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's other people's game. You play your game, you do what you do. What I do, I teach. And even in times of adversity, I'm gonna find a way to teach so we can look at you like a case study that you are. You're a case study. We seeing all sorts of unorthodox stuff take place these days. We seeing attorneys align themselves with scammers these days. Wow, we seeing a whole lot of weird stuff. Whenever you see this type of stuff, you gotta sit here and say, man, what the freak is going on? But call a spade and you keep moving forward. Get your knowledge and live your life. Pay attention to what's going on, see the signs, and do what you do. Do what you do. But I mean, damn, I know many of the reasons why our people become jealous or do things in haste. So we just move forward. Yeah, it's a lack of discipline. And when you see a lack of discipline coupled with covert operative behavior, then what you do, you prepare yourself at best for the storm, and you continue to move forward and do what you can do every day to contribute or add value to the people closest to you, including yourself. That's what you do. So tomorrow the classes is brotherpolight.app. You go to brotherpolight.app. If you go there, you'll see the program synopsis and outline for the subject matter we'll be sharing information about. It's very simple. It's very simple. Yeah, but yo, don't get distracted if somebody says something negative. And the reason, again, for those of you that didn't see it, I don't like to block people when I'm doing my lives, because I like the discipline amongst us to all look at them and say, man, we know who that person is. Because guaranteed, if you hit their page and you see what they talking about twerking. You know, they putting up images of black people jumping other black people, smacking them up. They don't have nothing to offer. They want me gone, but they don't want to replace me with something better. I know. How can a 25-year-old be jealous of an 85-year-old? That's so weird. I dig it. Yeah, Farrakhan, salute to the brother. You know, you don't got to agree with someone totally, but you don't got to lie on them and tear them down either. So I agree with that. Yeah, people are too afraid to commit suicide, but they hate their life. So they go out their way to antagonize and push other people in hope that they would do what they're too cowardly to do themselves. See, I love this existence. Things can always be better, and that's the beauty about this existence, because the fact it can always be better, that means we can work in an effort to take things to another level. You feel what I'm saying? That's how that works. That's the beauty of existence. Adversity. It's like a video game. You find your way through the maze. Find your way through the matrix. That's what it's about. It's a lovely thing. Thank you, family. Oh, I'm in LA. Told you I miss being out here. Yo, listen. It's a beautiful thing. You up early and ready tomorrow? That's what's up. It's going to be a phenomenal class. Make sure that you sign up. Do what you got to do. You go to brotherpolight.app. We got 2 days of learning. If you miss one of the days, if you miss some of the time, don't worry. You have it 7 days out before it dissolves, before it goes away. All right? We will email you the top of tomorrow the link so you can be prepared for when class starts, which is 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. All of that is written when you go to brotherpolite.app. So even if you, let's say you say, I can't catch Saturday, but I could definitely catch Sunday. I could catch Saturday, but I can't catch Sunday. I might miss Saturday and Sunday, but during the week I can really catch it. Just make sure you get the class and you'll have access to it for 7 days. That's right, Larry. Looking forward to seeing you in class tomorrow, too. You also get access to the PDF. You get to keep the PDF. So the PowerPoint that I'll be doing, you get to keep the notes. That's powerful. You get to keep the notes. Ain't that real? You get to keep the notes for the PowerPoint. No doubt, Curtis. No doubt. It's all love, man. It's all love. It's all love. But you know, one thing they're not going to refute is the information. They're going to always attack the person, but they're never going to say, yo, that information is incorrect. They're never going to do that. They're never going to say the information is incorrect. They ain't going to do that. Or they're going to contend that they got something better going on, and then when you give them attention, they're going to go back to gossip. Second, you say, you know what, I'm going to lend my ear to see what you got to say. You ain't got nothing to talk about but other people. Oh yeah, we're going to break down some herbs. We got a 2-day thing that's going to be phenomenal. And then when January comes, we're going to really level up. By that time, the app will be out. The app will be out probably next week time. The Android one is already complete, but we don't want to release it until the Apple users can also have access to the app. We want to make sure that you can get it from the Apple store or the Samsung store. You know, we want to make sure you can get it in. That's right. I'm just excited for the 2-day course tomorrow. You know, I got things I gotta do to prepare. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a beautiful thing. I love when we just come together. I love when we convene and we make things like this happen. I love to teach. So it's gonna be a very, very awe-inspiring, motivational event tomorrow. And I have you guys to all thank for that. I have you guys to thank for the opportunity to share this very powerful information. Holistic mathematics and wealth stewardship. Holistic mathematics and wealth stewardship. Yeah, this Brother Polight app is going to be phenomenal. We got educational games that's going to be on there. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. It's going to be very exciting. I'm excited about it. I know many of you are excited about it. And you're going to see how I changed the game. And let's not forget about the cryptocurrency, man. Whew. About to go somewhere else with that. Making the jewelry a wallet. That's a whole nother space we talking about. That's what I'm saying. There's so much that we have to discuss. So much that we have to learn. We got to soak up as much as information as possible. Because first of all, many of us done got conscious entirely too late. Yeah, I'm excited too. This ain't the time for us to talk about no flat earth, family. I ain't got no time for that. This ain't the hour for that conversation or that controversy. We want to stick with the health and the wealth. That is the focal point. We want to stick with wealth stewardship, generational wealth. We want to make sure in the event something happens to us now that our family has something in real time. We want to make sure we can deal with each other and deal with ourselves right now, sustain ourselves. We got to focus on that. But it's all love. I'm not looking to undermine you or disrespect you. This is just not the time for flat earth conversations. It's not the time for that right now. But it's all love. Salute, peace and blessings. And those of you that's interested in the consulting, conscious advisory, y'all know what to do with that. Okay, so I like to say I thank you so much. I'm blessed and I'm honored to actually be able to deal with you all. And I thank you for constantly supporting, constantly showing love, holding my hand, walking with me, taking this long walk on a short path. Can't thank you enough. And I will deliver, and it's going to be a powerful message tomorrow. You know we're not dealing with no drama. We're not dealing with no, we're not going to detour, deflect, or defer. I mean, we may defer some taxes, but we ain't deferring our attention. Tomorrow, we're going to deal with the facts at hand. Prepare yourself. Have your pen. Have your pad. You will get the PDF that corresponds with the class. It will be amazing. We will do a follow-up live stream to talk about how good it was, and I will ask you all to participate in it. Yeah. I will ask you all to participate in it and what your experience was like. I may do it on YouTube, I may do it on Facebook, I may do it on a combination of both. How you doing? But we're going to get it in. Word up. I thank y'all guys all blessing. Peace. You guys are a definite blessing. I want to say peace. Yeah, all you got to do is go to brotherpolight.app. It's right there written. brotherpolight.app. Brother, pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. .app. All you gotta do is go to brotherpolight.app. and you can read the program details. It's loaded. The dates and the times is loaded. And remember, even if you have to miss a day or two or both, we got you. We got you. It's all love. And those of you that I'm getting, how you doing?
Right,
oh,
right.
Yes, brother Polight. Man, thank you for listening. Okay? Appreciate it. Ain't never a dull moment, man. You know, people want to convince you that it's a whole bunch of hate. There ain't a whole bunch of hate. That don't exist. I just got a message come across my phone. I'm getting tired of your trolls constantly attempting to sway my judgment. Like, they work 24 hours. Yes, they gotta work 24 hours for someone like me. I got a video going viral right now as we speak on my Instagram. Just about milk alone, breaking down how it has 750,000 somatic cells, a euphemism for pus, 24,000 live bacteria before the Food and Drug Administration takes it off the shelf. And it's pasteurized, a process in which they prolong the shelf life of the food by inducing it with radiation. The same radiation that causes cancer. Then I go on to ask, what's going on?
Hi.
Peace.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Are you famous?
Nah,
How many viewers?
I'm just a teacher. Just a few. I'm about to close out.
You're a teacher?
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Really?
Yeah. Huh?
Where?
I teach at UCLA from time to time, but I'm not a teacher there.
Basketball? Wait, what do you teach?
I don't teach basketball. I don't got to be basketball.
Wait, where do you teach? Where?
Oh, I actually went there to do a class on genetics, and also I went there to do a class on
How many
food.
followers do you have?
Over 200,000 here, 640,000 on my app, and 121,000 on my Instagram.
Oh, so you're famous.
If you would call it that.
Wait, where do you teach?
On my live, right now it's closing out, so we have a few hundred closing out.
Wait, what do you teach?
I teach on political.
Can I shout myself out?
Yes, you can. Go ahead. They're looking at you right now.
Follow me _NVCKY_. What about me? What about me?
Why you? When I said I'm a teacher, you thought I was talking about basketball?
Because you're tall.
Makes sense. I got you. I'm a basketball teacher.
On Instagram, Paula_Valley.
Hold on. If they following you, what you gonna teach them?
I'm gonna teach them about success.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. And, wait, where do you teach?
I teach all over the world.
On my website.
Yeah,
Come
what
to
you do on your website?
Come to Pornhub.com.
What you do?
Pornhub.com.
Pornhub? How old are you?
I'm 20.
You know, I mean, damn.
He's 13.
I mean, hey, if that's what you're doing in your culture at this age, it's looking good for my people. So if you want to tell us, go to Pornhub.com at 13 years old. I know my children are in good hands to rule the world.
150 people.
So that's pretty interesting.
Wow.
She's another famous. Wait, come to Already on Teach. Are you his?
He said to follow
Guys,
him.
mom's
Go
here.
to his website. His website is Pornhub.com.
What?
Yeah.
Smack you.
Nah, I said that's good. That means that my children gonna rule the world after this.
So X videos. Visit that.
How old are you?
13.
I'm 24.
So your mom knows about your site?
no.
Okay.
It's all good. All right, go ahead.
Bye.
Go ahead.
Papi chulo.
Y'all just made my day. Peace. Yeah, it is. Made my day. Things are looking up. My brothers and sisters, things are looking up. I don't get upset. You see, the old Polight, even talking to the youth, I would have had to deal with them a little differently. But at this point or the other, I'm more refined, and I see the beauty in all things. So we always think our children is wild and out of control and unpredictable about the things they're gonna say, how negative they may be. But here it is. I believe he's Asian. Here it is. He says, go to my website. I say, what's your website? Pornhub.com. So he came to be a distraction to tell me about porn at 13 years old. I feel mighty good because I know my daughter don't do that. But you see, everybody like to give us the impression that our children are wild and out of control. But look at them. Okay? We're in the Beverly Hills area. And if this is what they have in their mind, with so much at their disposal, with the head start that they've been given, things are looking up, family. Y'all continue to work hard, continue to teach your children. For me, I couldn't even get upset. It's not my concern. You know, and I will hope that they hear me carefully and maybe even reconcile within themselves that, yo, he's talking about his children ruling the world in the future.
Right.
You feel me?
What would you like to drink then?
They'll get it later. Oh, I need a green juice or something. Let's see if we could get yeah, let's see if we can get something like that. Look at that, 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 look at that. Look at this woman, look at this beautiful woman.
Jeez. Show them the sky, man.
Oh, okay.
Just the trees and
I mean, that's, show them the sky, baby. Show them the trees. Show them, I mean, that is Miss Nature woman. My goodness. Can't do no streaming around her. We gotta catch the beautiful sky and the leaves and trees. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Y'all got it. See? You see that? And that's why I got the hell out of there, because when minors come to you proposing that you think about porn, and these are some young white girls and everything, I'm like, man, you know, I'm getting the freak out of here.
right.
I'm like, next thing you know, I'm glad it's being recorded. The next thing you know, I'm being set up like I started the damn conversation.
Right. Nah, that goes.
Yeah, they went out their way, came into my stream to introduce ideas about porn. And this is how our people be getting set up when the camera's not on.
They call me
That's why I told you. I was like, yeah, he said his website, so I know you was impressed. Like, okay, what's the website?
You know?
Pornhub.
Oh my God.
I'm like, man, look at that. Nah, I'm gonna get a kale apple ginger if they open. Yeah, you see? And I mean, they should have enough sense in their head than to want to talk to a grown adult and say something like that, because just because he's a guy, that don't make him safe. There's some sick males out here that don't give a damn if you're a young lady or a young man. And then the fact that he would say that around young ladies, he's jeopardizing their safety.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. So that's why I'll play those games. And that's exactly why I be telling Matt, like, yo, don't think it's sweet because you out here and these younger children of another race, you probably thinking that they very positive too. Nah, they man, I could have been in that circle hanging out with them thinking it's sweet, and they be jeopardizing her.
Right.
And some sick ass man be thinking about porn and looking at her. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, yo, you cannot take things for granted.
I was just like thinking like, oh, you guys.
Cannot take things for granted.
Like, you know, I just.
Real talk.
Hey.
Never a dull day. You see, never a dull day.
Oh, God. Like,
I know it caught you off guard. I'm like, yo, never a dull day, man.
wow.
These guys are nuts. Look who's up in the building. Look at the stranger right there. What's up? What's up? How you doing, King?
It's good to see you,
I ain't expect to see you in here.
man. I'm trying to get it, brother.
I hear that, man. What's up, my brother?
Man, it's good to see you.
Looking
You
good,
doing
looking
good,
good. Slimming down.
Vegan, bud?
He a vegan now, you know. He a vegan now.
That's the stuff we see results.
He got tired of me coming in here talking that talk.
After what, 2 years, I finally decided to go.
Yeah, you look good, brother. You look good, man. You glowing, man. You glowing.
I'd love to be like you.
Sweet nectar of nature right there.
You want to be card?
Yeah. Can I put the $40 card here? Yeah.
What do you mean, leave it?
Yeah, leave it in your.
That's what's up, man. Be coming in here doing the knowledge so much. Glad to see my brother on the grind. Makes you feel good all around. Feels good to be effective, impactful. See, when I be ready to get off, it just gets exciting. Yeah, I like to come here and get my kale apple ginger on. My ginger shot.
Yep.
We don't play these games. Do we play these games? Boo?
No.
We don't play those games. We serious about our kale apple ginger.
See, I
don't think we're better, man.
Yeah, he wanted to know if I was famous. You know, we could decode that whole situation now. We could really go into that situation. That was kind of tricky. And you know, and look, in my world, I'm not a paranoid guy, but I question all things. So guess what? I also question what would make them want to just pull up on me and just start asking me questions and then say something like that. See, that's when you gotta know, like, let me get out of here. Yeah, I don't play those games. And just as we was getting ready to close out. Yeah, I don't play around. I be questioning all things. You mess around, you be thinking they just children and they damn agents. Or, you know, I don't know. Just to see if they can catch you slipping. Say something that's wrong. Say something that's inappropriate. You feel what I'm saying? We don't know. They just send them over there and set you up. And all of a sudden, you a child predator out of nowhere. I'm telling you, I always be questioning. What make y'all run up on me like that? And then this is the joke out of everything. The joke is what made me really question why y'all ran up on me like that. One thing to be young children and just wilding and being goofy is another thing when you saying stuff like that. Like, that ain't no type of joke you just tell a random adult of another race. Grown ass man at that. But maybe it's me, y'all. Maybe it's me. Is it me? Or am I making some sense here? I think it's a little suspect. Thanks, family. Oh yeah, definitely. My whiz came right on time. Oh no, it's all good. They need to hear that. They need to hear that balance. They need to hear that banging. Bust your gun, man. Then after that, you know we want our kill after ginger. Bang it. So y'all feel it too. It's suspect, right? Man, people saying this suspect is suspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
And you came right on time. Like, yup, I'm presently with my wife.
Right.
And let me tell my wife the crazy stuff you just said.
And then I asked him, and he was proud to say that. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, and like I said, and plus you around young girls too. It's like, why would you say that? Like, you out of line with that.
And they lying to me.
Yeah, then the young girl says she's 24. Like, why would you? Like, yo, that you are inviting trouble. That's another thing. Yeah, that young girl did say, I'm 24. Yeah. Like, yo, this is crazy. You guys are inviting the worst type of energy in your world. And I don't wish it on no children. I don't care what race they are.
Right.
You know, a crime against children is a crime against humanity. I don't care what race you are. I don't wish that on nobody. But it's just so wild when it's like the children are aggressing you on some sexual stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yo, you expect an adult to be playing themselves, not the children. It's like they asking for trouble. That's why I said, how they all vibrating like that? Almost like, let's run up over there and let's see if we can catch them out there.
I feel so comfortable speaking to a man.
You see, and that's why I said when you wasn't there, I said with all the views I get the amount of views that fill a population of a whole country.
Facts.
Several times over.
Right.
Several different views and several different videos.
Yes.
I said I got one going viral now, what you know?
Right.
Just talking about milk for 60 seconds.
Right.
Right? So I was saying that when the adversity comes, it's no coincidence. It's calculative a lot of times. We don't know which one is calculative, but we know enough to know a lot of this adversity, a lot of this controversy is calculative.
Yes.
You know, like I was saying, an attorney aligning themselves with a scammer.
Right.
And saying, look, we out to stop a scammer? Like, what the hell is that? When did we ever see something like that play out? It's calculative. And when they get the full scoop about the whole situation, which they're getting very soon, they gonna get it before this year's out. I don't want to give you the drop date, but it's coming. But, you know, it's like you got to look at it for what it is. So after saying that, I never got my guard down. So then, boom, they all come. And look, they came. I was about to turn the camera off. I was closing out. And I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaving it on. I always leave it on, especially when children involved. I always leave the camera on so I got a thorough record. a recordation of what's taking place. So it won't be my word simply versus someone else's. Anytime youth is involved, like when I was breaking up that fight, and they, oh, turn the camera on. No, I'm keeping the camera on. Because I told the young man's mother on the phone that I'd be willing to drive him home. But I'm not willing to do it with the camera off because I'm still a stranger at the end of the day. So I made sure I had a witness with me, and I made sure I kept the camera on so I could take him to and fro. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, so we're going to use this era to our advantage. Yeah, I got to protect myself because I could be over here saying I'm a good Samaritan. Next thing you know, I'm locked up for some crazy shit.
How many times have we seen that?
Come on, man, because at the end of the day, all somebody got to do is flip the script. Whether the mom sees me, oh, man, I'm Christian, you be banging on Christians. You should have never took my boy. You abducted him. Like, who knows?
Right.
Who knows? You feel what I'm saying? You don't know how that turned out, and then it's my word against theirs, and then I got to say to myself later on, I should have exercised extreme caution even though my heart was in the right place.
Yes.
You feel me? So when they came over and I was just turning it off, I said, yo, the timing is crazy. I didn't think that at first until their conversation. When their conversation came through, I'm like, yo, thank goodness I kept this on.
Yes.
Because what if they was recording me? Now, it'd never come out that the children came over and had me recorded. It'd never come out. What you would get somehow is the secret recording, and the next thing you know, it sound like I'm entertaining this crap. You feel me? So I don't. Yo, this world is sick, man. Yo, word up, this shit is sick. The world is crazy. Yeah, you'll be notified about the classes well before the class starts. So after you make your purchase or what have you, before 12 o'clock, you'll be notified. But the class starts at 1 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. But you'll be notified. When you get notified, you'll have the link, and you'll also have the PDF enclosed. Yeah, I gotta always be on point, man. These forces be coming from every angle. And it could have been just reckless children. You feel me? I just said I can't put nothing past me. I can't put nothing past me because I know what my influence is. It's not every day that somebody's walking down the streets and they can say 10 million people watch their video. It's not every day someone could just speak for 60 seconds and then all of a sudden the video's all over the place. You feel me? That's power. So at any given point I decide, yo, you know what, y'all? This is the direction we need to go right here. Yo, they gotta stop me when that becomes the case. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is deeper than what a lot of people realize, man, because we always like to believe not the person that I'm watching. It got to be somebody in history, but not the exact person that I actually connect with that come from my neighborhood. I'm sure they're not doing that to him. Nah, it is what it is. I can't call everybody out to be an agent or operative. I just only could say, well, this looks very interesting. You know, but the life that I live, this is why I be moving the way I move. Y'all don't even understand. I'll be moving a certain way because it's real out here. But I love y'all. Thank goodness I'm in the comfort of my wife. Brother Polight app. Let me see if this is our Kel and stuff over here. What's going on in there? Oh yeah. Kel, yeah. That's right. Kel, yeah. Are we vegan? Kel, yeah. Oh yeah, we need that ginger. If you can't attend the classes, as I said, if you can't attend the classes, you still keep them for 7 days upon purchase. So you can watch it at your leisure after the live stream. So after the live stream, so long as you pay for it, you got it for 7 days. But after those 7 days, it ain't available to nobody. So the live stream gonna go down Saturday and Sunday. So long as you bought the classes, you good money. You'll have it 7 days from Monday to Monday. Saturday and Sunday is live days. That's how that works. You'll have it for 7 days thereafter. Beautiful thing it is. You'll have access to it. We'll give you the link and you'll be able to do what you got to do. I'd like to thank you so much for this love. Thank you so much. Check y'all later. Again, if you're interested in the consulting, conscious advisory, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. brotherpolite45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number. But as far as these classes for tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, that's brotherpolite.app. That's where you go. Appreciate you, love you. Thank you for sharing these moments with me. Y'all are the best. Salute. I'm gonna get this kale, apple, ginger shot on and keep me going. Keep this metabolism right. That's what we're gonna do. I'm so excited to get this kale, apple, ginger. Let me get a kale, yeah. Kale, yeah. Let me stop. Y'all, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I appreciate you. I love you. Keep this melanin glowing. You know how we do.